That doesn't sound
Hmm.
like a yes.
Oh, are you there?
Yep.
So yes, sorry, my thing cut you off for a second. I was afraid something had got wrong.
I said I hope you have all your notes in order.
I believe I do. I have
Then
a very lot of notes here, actually.
do let us know what happened last time.
Well, it started off with us going through our hyperlanes. Tula talking with Kira, asking about her past, trying to get to know her try to get to know her essentially, as she seemed to be dodging those conversations, not wanting to talk much about herself or anything really. Through Luke's asking Tula to find out more, which she did, she was able to learn just what Kira's been through. That apparently she's been experimented on. Her and a few other kids spent her time on Korriban as a Sith apprentice apparently, and well, lost chunks of memory. Doesn't really know exactly what they did to her, what was being done, but knew enough to be aware that she didn't want to be there, essentially. Eventually, got lucky, as she would say, and was able to sneak her way through cargo, essentially, without anyone catching her, and made her way out that way. A very odd and surprising thing to happen, as her own experience with Korriban show that it's not as easy to leave. Regardless, she's here now, and there are still speculations about who exactly she's running from. She has doubts that anyone will really care, but knowing there's more likely going to be a problem that we'll have to face at a later date, apparently. As we continue forward, following along whatever plan Luke has cooked up for us, essentially. Eventually making ourselves to another space station, another pit stop along the way, as Luke and Hess went off to do their thing. We were all left to our own devices. This time, though, Valen and, of course, Marcy wanted to enjoy themselves a little bit more. As they went off to explore the space station while Tula went off one of her walks, gathering, gossip and such. Maru decided to stay behind and, listen to what the radio was saying, and that's how things would have gone, if not for the fact that Valen eventually grew bored after seeing a bit of the station and talking with Marcy, learning about, apparently Maru may have a chance of saving her brother Thexan, and having some doubts about that. And why Bailey wanted to be the kind, lovely younger sister that she is, went off to go try to convince Maru to see a better idea about that relationship between her and Thexan. As Marcy went along with, as they sat down to talk with Maru, who a bit uneasy about the two having a conversation with her, but decided to be frank and honest as they ask her exactly what she wished to do with Thexan. What is she hoping for here? And she tried to be realistic, realizing that more likely that she won't be able to really convince Thexan to leave his father, at least not having any hope. No matter how much Valen tried to push or corral or tease, she seemed unwilling to give herself that hope that she can, turn this around. Though Valen, of course, wished for this to work out for her brother, she seems not to really realize there's no point in forcing this issue, at least in this aspect. Though apparently Maru let something slip about Luca and apparently his abilities with the Force and all that such. Something that caught Valen's interest, as she demanded to know answers that Maru didn't really have or wasn't willing to tell her, and decided to force her to speak by reading her mind and cracking it open, essentially much a painful experience for Maru. While that was going on, Tula, like I said, was walking around enjoying the sights, apparently, before she noticed something odd. There are people watching her, eyes here and there, getting looks that she probably realized means that she's a bit in danger. Decided to not press her luck and made her way back to the ship, stumbling across this conversation between Valen, Marcy, and Maru, as Maru confessed her true feelings about Valen, her hatred for her, her dislike, and wishing for her to die, and her belief that Valen has somehow turned Marcy into this thing that she's not, at the very least. Tula was surprised and what the hell's going on, essentially, as Valen demanded answers that, like I said, neither Maru or Tula knew. They didn't know Luke's plan or what he was going to do, and they had no way to appease Valen in that regard. She realized she would have to do this work herself, and she did ask some questions from Tula, mainly her true feelings, which Tula was honest about, and her other inquiries she had, as well as Tula asking a question that has been plaguing her for quite some time, asking Valen exactly what it's like to live with the Emperor as your father. And, it seemed it wasn't really a wonderful time, as it was probably pretty obvious. And there's a reason why Valen was able to leave, even without Marcy's interference. At the very least, we had to get out of there as Luke came back, telling us that apparently, well, bounty hunters have caught our eyes and they notice Tula walking around. And now it's best to get ourselves out of here before they start sniffing around. As we decide to make another hyperlane jump and go there with the tension still building. As Luke went off to stick with Valen and Marcy, and we were back on our own ship. Luke now being the person on the, well, the interesting idea that Valen had was to torture him, to push to try to get some more information that he seemed to be hiding from everyone, trying to, as she pointed out to Marcy, doesn't trust you, is lying to you, as they decide to try to make it, well, make his time more miserable. Though Luke was able to see through Maru, Valen wasn't so nice. Not Maru, sorry, Marcy. And Valen wasn't so nice that she decided to force read his mind, choke him, things like that. Make sure he understands exactly who has the power here, as he was told her some information, probably not what she wanted to hear, but at the very least, she seems not to be able to push as of right now, seeing as Luke's mind is a bit of a conundrum for her, a dark pit of emotion, and the way he uses the Force is very concerning overall. Regardless, we continue forth, and it was brought to our attention on the other side with Tula, Maru, and Hess and everyone else that there's, of course, another part of the plan we were never informed about. And something they're not willing to tell us about either as well. And well, after realizing we're going to Korriban, as Kira pointed out, her own experience as familiar territory, and Tula and Maru not knowing what was going on, not being informed, there was nothing else we could really do, just wait, essentially. Wait as one does, as even Raylan thought they were going to Korriban, though it became very obvious to Marcy that we would have gotten there sooner. And well, Valen wasn't too happy when she realized that this is exactly part of the plan that he told her what she was able to find, so she went off to confront Luke again, this time by pushing even further. And, well, apparently whatever ploy he pulled for her was able to convince her enough that she got distracted or believed whatever she was able to torture out of him was enough to appease her before she didn't realize as she kissed Marcy, the sound of the gas coming through and them being knocked out. Apparently on another plan, part of the plan if things had gone wrong for Luke, as he would calm Hess and let her know that they found out, but it's too late now. Continue on course. And we're not sure where the hell we were going before we popped up into what were presumably Melchior 5, as the voice of Kira spoke up to our shock and horror. As she was revealing it wasn't Kira, but someone else using her as a little puppet to speak through, the Sith Lord and such. Surprised and, well, unsure how Luke even got this information in his hand and just what he was planning to do with it. Though, as the terror and the Force and all the voices took over, some of us tried to overcome, as Muro did, and some of us tried to shoot ourselves, as Tula foolishly did, and getting the full burnt of that, as well as Kira, or whoever was puppeting Kira as well. And, well, apparently Luke's plan, as we came to realize, was to take Valen down to the surface to give her a choice, either cut herself off of the Force or be tortured in this place forever. And eventually we would come to find out that she apparently had lost her connection when we woke back up in pain, confused, and miserable. Of course, Marcy being very worried about Valen and upset about how things had turned. And we were all forced to stay here, not knowing what was going on. As, well, we talked with Luke eventually as he came up. When we woke up again, apparently on a Star Destroyer with a bunch of dead. And part of the plan as well is he had gotten Thexan and Narcan, who had come and save their sister, of course. And, well, Luke, knowing this new information about Kira, seemed to pause as well, but not going to stop his stride. We eventually made our way back to the ship, and that's where everything came crashing down. The small, tenuous relationship we had snapping under the strain as, well, relationships were broken. Maru's still on Luke's side, of course, but Marcy losing trust in her brother as he put someone she loved dearly on harm's way so effortlessly, and Tula's rage and rage at Luke coming to a head. She and Luke had a, well, verbal fight as much as one can, but Tula ultimately just walking away, demanding to leave, not wanting to stay any longer, as Luke seemed uncaring about that aspect. Maru asking if she could stay with him to continue the fight, but he seemed unwilling to let her come along with, as Marcy and Maru and Tula talk. Muru's coming up to her to try to convince her to not get upset or calm down, but Tula seemed not willing to appease by that, saying that she wasn't in the mood to continue this life that we lead where someone else tells us what to do, and it seems like we haven't really gone anywhere. We're in the same spot we were from the beginning, and it's very frustrating for her, as she would confess to Muru that nothing, well, you can continue to be with him if you want, but I'm not staying here, basically. And she went off to talk with Marcy, not necessarily to apologize, but talk with her and say she hopes everything works out with her and Valen. As well, once Marcy learned that she's going to be leaving as well, she seemed that's where she wants to be. As eventually we made ourselves to a nice agricultural planet, as Luke left us there with supplies and such. Marcy said her goodbyes to her brother, wishing him luck for his path to, well, take out his enemies. But once the two people she wishes that were dead are dead, she hopes his luck runs out in taking Valen and leaving. Uh, Maru also said goodbye to him, and Tula said thanks for the supplies. We made our way out, not really seeming to be in the best terms, and probably never going to repair that relationship again. And as we were left with Valen, Thexan, Archon, Maru, Marcy, and Tula. And I think that's where it ended last.
Yeah. As looking around, you're in a sort of nearby clearing on top of a hill. As you can see in the distance, there's a large swath of forest, and just at like as far as your eyesight can reach, you do see what look like farmlands, you think?
Well, let's start there, I guess.
Valen just kind of glances at the two knocked out brothers.
There, we'll carry them.
She kind of glances at you and says, "Can't carry both of them and the supplies." I will point out it's a long distance to walk, and you'll have to go through the forest as well. For how all of you are doing with your survival skills.
Not great.
Not great.
Oh no, we lost Red again.
The same as mine. Not great.
We all have the same survival skills.
And I'm gonna wait a minute for Red to get. There we go. Leah, she gets back. But no, I remember. There's even the worst thing that I hate about that movie. Final scene. I will get the Rey Skywalker. That line was.
Yeah, the final scene was just thematically distonal with the rest of the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, it's like, what even am I watching? Oh, the funniest shit. Made me laugh, I'll be honest. Unlike the Red, you hear us?
Yes, sorry about that, guys.
Did you hear what I was saying?
I just heard Valen glances at someone, and that's
Yeah.
as far as I got.
Because like, you can try and carry them, but there's no way you can also carry them. There's an entire crate of supplies.
Mm.
And well, given the fact that no one here is very good in the wilderness, well, you don't want to get caught up in the woods in an unknown planet. God knows what the wildlife is here.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, at the very least, we can two options: work together until we get to town, and then split up from there. But we can try to have someone stay and or someone go to the town and gather help, or we can try
Right,
to.
the town is in the horizon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I said, I only heard as far as Valen. I didn't know whether. Okay.
Before that, there was an entire narration where I mentioned the fact that you are sort of on top of this like clearing on a hill. In front of you, there's a large swath of forest, and sort of beyond that, on the horizon, you can see farmlands. You don't see like a town. You see farmlands.
Ah, gotcha.
In that case, I'm also actually gonna open the crate. Look at what supplies we have.
There's food. There's camping supplies, stuff to help you, um, kind of start fires easily. There's clearly like a tent or two.
All right. We have some supplies. We have tents. We have stuff we need. Can hunker down until the brothers wake up.
Like you would have food supply for at least a week. If you don't ration it probably can last longer.
Yeah. She's suggesting that they wait till the brothers wake up then.
So yeah. Valen sort of nods.
Very well then.
Yeah, presumably you'll begin sort of setting up camp. Luckily, you have like a few hours of sunlight, so you're able to pitch the tents up, kind of split all the travel gear, some backpacks, split the food supply as well. There's a couple of like medical kits as well. It's a fully equipped emergency crate. Yeah, you're doing all of this. Is anyone having any conversations?
Not right now, no, not in the mood particularly.
Yeah, I don't think Tula's either.
Yeah, Marcy is like kind of like more focused right now.
Well, not sure if this annoys anyone or not, but Valen is clearly not helping with the camp. She's kind of just sitting and kind of staring at the wildlife, like the not wildlife, but the plants and trees, and just kind of like walking about.
Yeah, Tula doesn't say anything. She glances at Marcy for a minute or two to see if she's going to say anything, but if not, she's not going to interfere with that relationship right there.
Yeah, Marcy will actually, seeing that, will mention will actually just say Valen, can you come over here and help me with some of this?
So what? Can give me a speech roll.
Yeah. Lower success.
Gonna keep that, or are you gonna?
No, I'll keep that.
And looks at us. Help you with what? Bring up the.
Yeah.
Seem to be fine doing. This is not really my area of expertise. I shall smile.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. My Discord was lagging a bit there, so getting a little scared. But yeah, Marcy will say, well, it's a wonderful time to learn, considering we're probably gonna be on this world for who knows how long.
I can learn tomorrow. Plus, I don't think we'll be here that long. We just need to find settlement, ask the locals a couple of questions. I'm sure they can direct us to the nearest hub of civilization.
And what after that?
No. Find the ship, find transport, leave this rock.
Yeah, Marcy will say, yeah, Marcy will just say, no, if everything goes well, hopefully that's going to be the case.
She's gonna like grimace, but not gonna respond. And crouches down and like starts looking at the flower.
Yeah, Marcy will then say, Marcy's going to ask, how do you think your brother's going to take it when they wake up?
Uh, Honestly, I don't know. Probably Arkan's gonna wanna punch things, and Texan's gonna try to reason his way out of this. Hopefully, he'll calm him down. I'm confident once they wake up, Texan will have a plan for this. He always has a plan.
Marcy will say, Marcy will say, not sure what plan you could have for this, but yeah, if anyone, be him.
Well, this is my first time surrounded by so much nature. I might as well just take advantage of it.
And Marcy will give a nod of that.
At the very least, it's clear to you that she is looking at the environment with a lot of curiosity. No, unfortunately, she is spoiled from many points of view regarding a great many things. Get the feeling that getting her to do any sort of manual labor gonna require some hefty amount of bribery or different manipulation tactics.
Mac, I think that might be the plan.
Yeah. Sadly, you're no longer a force god anymore, Valen.
I was coping about that too. It's gonna come back eventually. By the time we get into
That's true.
spaceport. Yeah, as be able to eventually set up a camp and maybe make some dinner as night sort of falls. Well, you can kind of hear one of the brothers sort of rouse from sleep as Thexan kind of like opens his eyes a bit. Where are we? He's like glance around, super confused, seeing all of you. Kind of his eyes widen as you realize he's starting to like process things.
Tulip elbows Maru.
That's sad because direct live feed to Miru's brain.
He immediately reaches for a non-existent lightsaber because I hope to God you wouldn't have given the
We
weapons
did
back.
disarm them, yes, we did. Like, we're gonna...
No, yeah.
So he like
Otherwise they're not mercenary.
instinctively reaches for it, but like it's not there. He like again gets up immediately.
Can I pass him a bowl of stew?
No, that's not really...
He's not gonna take your balls, dude. He's like looks like
He's
he's
right now
about to like,
panicking.
fight or flight mode.
Yeah, hey, listen. We're not in a... We're underground right now, somewhere in space, so... That's which road we're on.
What happened? How did we get here?
I think it's best if I just rip the band-aid straight off. You will learn to a trap, I believe, in order to...
I think I have that figured out already.
You were knocked out on this world called Malachor 5. It's a... And as part of the process, you will lost your sensitivity to the force and were dropped off here by Marcy's brother.
Not my brother.
Were dropped off here by Luke.
I'm gonna require a speech roll from you because this is the most weird, useful, and it's an interesting retelling of events. But yeah.
Did I lie somewhere or?
No, but like this is like he's like having a freak out, and you're like, yeah,
Oh
you're
fuck yeah! I didn't. Oh fuck yeah! Listen, Miru's not good at speech, unfortunately.
here's the plot summary to what happened the last 3 sessions.
Ah fuck yeah! Listen.
And then like at the end, sort of slipping the you're no longer can't feel the force. Like moving on, by the way.
Listen. She told Luke, yeah, she ain't got this in her.
Would rolling soothe help Mac with his
Oh,
speech roll at
absolutely,
all?
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that if that's all right. If that's okay for you, Mac.
Yes, yes. You
Absolutely.
don't even need to use adrenaline for this because he is right now defenseless.
Gotcha. I can
Ah,
re-roll.
you should do the reroll. Yeah, well, that's a basic difficulty now, Miru.
Now listen, now that's a lot more possible now if I spent some adrenaline.
I think you should.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Look at that. Look
Yes.
at that. Sort of like calms down visibly as both you walking through walking him through recent events, as well as mostly Tula calming down his nerves and anxiety. As you will, well, he'll sit down reluctantly as he like notices Valen is looking fine and unbothered by this, if not slightly amused at the way you're handling this. You'll proceed to ask a couple of questions, sort of clarifying, okay, like, what the fuck is Luke? What do you mean Marcy's brother? As no, Valen wasn't bullshitting. He was completely. I assume you will tell him everything.
Yeah, she won't lie, yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he was completely unaware of any sort of brainwashing. Although he is not like surprised, he knows that his father is not a kind man. Does dabble in very weird and experimental things. So yeah, no, Thexan was completely unaware. And is a bit shocked that Valen was involved. If you want, you can roll me a detect roll on that.
I would love to roll detect.
Well, why not?
I will
Yeah.
probably fail because sadly I have only 4 dice. We'll see.
Look at that. I'll say this. Yeah, Marcy, you notice that he's a bit like confused as to why Valen helped you. For you, Miru, it's not necessarily just confusion, it's like actual genuine shock. But for you, Tula, it's something more than just confusion and shock. It's something along the lines of he expected Valen to be the last person on Earth to assist their father with this. And it's clearly something related to her personal history.
Mm.
Like, if she would not have believed it unless it came from her mouth. Like, yeah, I did this, like, what? But,
Gotcha.
yeah, Miru, you kind of walk him through as he'll eventually sit down and he'll grab that bowl of stew and... Ooh. Okay, this is, I'm not sure how to... kind of glances at the rest of you. treat you all now? I feel like you are more victims than traitors.
Marcy just sort of shrugs. Well, it is what it is now.
Well, my father doesn't do things randomly, so there could be some sort of plan behind this, even if I don't understand it. Not malicious in nature, but your suffering was most likely for the benefit of the Empire. Zakuul. Balin sort of rolls her eyes a bit at that.
The plan might have been for us to be an experimental test run. On its abilities and whatnot.
Given your well, your history with the Sith and rather hostile nature, maybe idea for form.
Uh,
Yeah, Marcy will just say, it's the Jedi took me from my homeworld for my own good. The Sith took me from the Jedi for some sort of project, and your father took me from the Sith because your father took me from the Sith for some fucked up reason. Completely wiped my mind. I still don't have the memories. Then a fucking wraith wearing my brother's face fucking comes and takes me from him. I wonder who's gonna fucking take me next.
Your anger is understandable. I don't think like I don't think my father did this for your own benefit. While he may act with our interest in mind, it's not necessarily on an individual level. So I definitely can understand you wanting to break free of this.
Wow. Do you think you can convince your brother not to have a problem with this when he wakes up?
You can all give me an awareness roll. You can use you can. It's just a normal awareness roll.
All right.
It's fine. He'll nod and I'll say, I can usually get him to calm down even in the sorts of situations.
Well, I'll stay a bit farther away just in case.
Well, without the force, he is. I guess we all are at your mercy. I doubt we're any threat to you. And in fact, I am quite thankful for your mercy and grace. Not everyone would have shown as much given the situation.
While we're out in the forest, not much else to do. Not try to kill each other would be a novel idea.
I think you are correct. cooperating right now, finding the nearest civilization, see if we can understand the locals. Maybe get an understanding of how advanced this planet is.
Yeah, she nods.
Yeah, no, listen, Vexen was always
Daddy's boy.
oh no, that definitely that, but the whole collectivist, like, listen, we may suffer individually, but like, it's for the betterment of
Uh,
society.
she
Everyone
will
has to
actually.
sacrifice something.
Listen, it's a cool story, bro. Unfortunately, now he doesn't know, but Mira will bring it up to him. You say that, but what about Luke? He was with us initially, and he was
I think,
knocked off in the Undercity.
well, I'll be honest, chose this path. There are plenty of ways for to make a living on Zakuul without resorting to such extreme measures. Spire has plenty of aid programs for less fortunate. His technical skill, he could have just found a job and moved on with his life.
He got his sister taken away from him. She got brainwashed.
While I don't understand that part of the scheme, there were many ways he could have tried to reach out to her without becoming a terrorist. In fact, he's a very good example to why Sith and or the older kind need to be purged. They are very dangerous to everyone else around them and to themselves as well. Such complete surrender to the dark side can lead nothing but destruction.
She will slightly grimace at that and say, or he just simply didn't see any use in him. Didn't see any potential and didn't want to waste effort and resources.
Well,
Oh, sorry. Oh.
he did what?
Why you like what?
What does that have to do with anything he just said?
No, because in my mind, like he didn't retribude. Right? Why separate like the siblings though? Why separate them?
No, I didn't
Why?
hear that
Yeah,
part
because
because
he did.
you said like you said like, oh yeah, but what about Luke? Because he was like thrown off to the side, and his response was like, well,
why
he could
separate
have
the siblings?
not because oh.
Yeah, it was like, why separate the siblings though? What other reason other than either cruelty or like other plans?
My bad. He would respond with, maybe it was for the benefit of Marcy. Maybe she would have never been able to let go of. I don't know. Like I said, this is something only my father can answer. But I know that he doesn't do things randomly. He is not a cruelty for cruelty's sake kind of man.
That makes it better, I suppose.
He's not. He's definitely not he's not definitely not some Sith warlord who tortures before his enjoyment. But think he's a cold and calculating man still. There's also the others we were on the ship. They were at
What other?
Qatar and like Val.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Mirror will elaborate because he doesn't
yes.
probably know. He probably doesn't know. Like
Yeah, but yeah, he'll bring up the fact that presumably if they suffer the same fate. I was kind of it's only Qatar. No one else from that ship was. That was it.
wasn't it Val? Val was there though.
Oh, that's true. True.
Val was also Qatar and Val. That's what the others were referring to. Like
Okay.
were also mined up and removed, and like also like, and she will
Yes.
mention Val was the glue that was kind of holding us together back on Korriban.
She was also Sith, Meru.
She
By
was,
glue
but
that holding you together, meaning abducting you from your home and then manipulating and breaking you mentally and physically. You not realize how obvious of a manipulation tactic that was. Creating a problem, then she comes along to save you, fix that problem.
No wonder your father kept her around.
oh no, she definitely was a Sith. I'm not denying that, but just that. I didn't think I do not think that. I just doubt your father's intentions are purely past for everyone around.
The difference between her and my father is that, well, I know my father. I've seen him build people up, build Zakuul itself. Whereas, friend, well, I don't know anything about her, other than what you can tell me from your very warped perspective. But I do know that she is Sith. That alone is enough to merit certain judgments. I need to grab something to drink. Help you.
Murray ain't got this one. Ain't got this one. As she said, she has zero confidence in convincing this man. She ain't has that dog in her. She ain't got that dog in her. The only
Problem is, we
dog-
need to move the argument away from the Sith because, yeah, Marcy's not going to defend the fucking Sith.
Yeah, listen, Mirror will also not defend the Sith. Yeah,
It's also the fact that you pointed out, like, your dad did the same thing. He just said it in a nicer way,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, but listen, Maru's only dog is a single spotlight. Notice Miru doesn't disagree with the Sith part. She's like, yeah, fuck the Sith, whatever. Yeah.
My throat was dying there for a second. So,
Walk back.
yeah, basically, you're kind of like look around. Like I feel like the judgmental looks are obvious unless you can tell me otherwise.
It doesn't agree with the Sith part, but she doesn't. She's not a patriot. For that guy.
I'm mostly asking Tula and Marcy.
No. In fact, Alcoin is just the newest guy who has done the exact same thing that the Sith and that the Jedi did to her.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
he has the same exact reasoning too.
Yeah. Staring at that bowl of stew really hard.
yeah, it's excellent the same. I can understand your perspectives. Which is why this is not me trying to bring you back or convince you. I know my father is capable of horrendous things. It's just that I know there is a reason behind them. And I know that he only does it if he doesn't see any other solution.
I can't.
I mean, you can,
Tula's
I was gonna say, you can lash out or give me a cool roll, I guess.
I'd like to give a cool roll because Tula should have hold it together here. I'm sorry. God damn it, hold on.
Who's gambling?
Oh, God.
You are gambling.
You go all in.
You can go all in.
Oh, God.
I would never go all in. That's a joke. I put in a single dice.
Baited you.
God damn it.
Never go all in on a single dice.
Just feeling lucky. Rock. Tula's look of just pure rage. She gives the sky.
That's it.
I'm trying to be understanding because I understand this is a lot to take in for you and your family. You've lost quite a great deal, but I am not going to stand here and listen to you give me absolute bullshit. You tell me that the Sith are worse, but your father has done the exact same thing. Come to us as savior, said that he's gonna help us, and then take away our memories for 5 fucking years while you didn't even realize what he was doing. What he took from us. What he made us do. You don't even know. You're telling me that we're supposed to, for the good of Zakuul? He took children. Your father is
You are
just
not
the same.
just children. People strong in the force, capable of killing others, are not just simple children.
And so he made us into weapons. Like the Sith, like the Jedi, like
You
everyone
are
else.
already weapons. I just tried to give you an ounce of control.
Control.
By taking my fucking life from me. What control did I have when I was singing his fucking praises?
Have you considered perhaps that if he has hidden this from you, he might have hidden other things?
He doesn't explain things to me. But I've seen his plans, and like I said, for the individual, yes, it's not always good. But for the entirety of the Empire,
I'm sure the people in the Underspire appreciate it.
well, I've seen how the Republic does it. It's horrendous. It's horrible, yes. Compared to how citizens of your republic suffer, yes. People in the Underspire are much better off.
So the ends justify the means, no matter the cost. Then, no matter who dies, who suffers, as long as it has a prosperous future that his ideal endpoint.
Question. I have a question, Grant. How big is the Empire of Zakuul right now?
One planet, I think.
It's basically like a planet and a bunch of like space stations.
Yeah. So he'll say, I'm sure when he conquers the Sith, when he conquers the Republic, I'm certain that he'll fix all of it. That he won't just use the same excuse everyone does.
He looks
That
at
the
you
galaxy's
very
too big.
confused. He looks at you very confused. Said anything about conquering? What are you even on about?
Say the Sith need to be destroyed. Are you gonna talk them into killing themselves?
I'm not.
I think he built that fleet for just defense alone.
He doesn't. Now, yes. And if he ever plans on using it, it's not gonna be to conquer people. It's gonna be to liberate them.
Your father just took away the minds of just the weakest of the weak here. When it was easier methods, he ripped us apart and made us into whatever he wanted. You think he's just
Weakest
gonna
of the weak? You believe that?
in the span of the Jedi and the Sith? You think he's not gonna just kill everything in his path? Or he's not gonna just make it easier for himself by ripping them apart?
No. If he wanted to do that, he would have done that already.
I think it would have been kinder if he did that instead. Instead of making me grovel at his feet. Instead of taking away the things, people I knew, the people I loved, the people I cared about.
Like I said,
took
I
that from
don't know why he does the things he does. But I see the outcome. And like I said, you may dislike it on a personal level. But I have studied the Republic. There is no place like Zakuul. There's no place that even comes near it. In its technological progress, in its societal progress, in its wealth, in its lack of poverty, and its lack of like just there's no place that even comes close to it.
So
Is that back to what we've seen?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say it's not like you did the census of like the Republic and everything, but Zakuul does have like the level. Like the problem is, it's not like you also studied the entirety of Zakuul. You sort of spent a lot of time training, living in the sort of higher levels of the Spire. But compared to, you can give me a no roll, I guess. Just for
Three dice, baby.
Yeah.
lower success.
Guess I'll give it a reroll shot.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
Marcy, look at that. I'll say this, Marcy. Unironically, yeah, whether that's like because it is smaller in scale than the Republic, so administration is much easier. Zakuul, while the lower levels do suck, they do suck for a lot less people than compared to something like Coruscant, right? Which, like, holy fucking shit. Like, the people who live in squalor do live in fucking squalor. Zakuul has minimized poverty. Hasn't, like, they have their propaganda about, like, there is no such thing. There is, but it is in smaller, it's much smaller than anything you've ever seen. Like, Zakuul is an example of a planet that is run very efficiently, because a lot of the sort of administration is in fact handled by sort of automated systems. So corruption tends to be non-existent, because who the fuck is gonna be like, they worship the emperor. They're not gonna like fuck with that. And because it's so isolationist, no real outsider gets involved. So if you look at quality of living and sort of poverty, that sort of thing, like, yeah, the stats are really good at Zakuul. Now, from your perspective, now, if you think about liberty, like if you try to criticize the emperor, the Gestapo's gonna just kind of put you away, make you disappear, right? If you talk about sort of how aware are people on Zakuul about the universe at large, again, not really aware. Like, they only know about the Chiss and some fucking weird alien species. Like, most people are very unaware. They probably don't even really know what the fuck Jedi are, or Sith for that matter, unless you're like involved in trading with fucking Sith enclaves in that part of the world. So he's not exactly wrong, but Texan clearly doesn't like value individual liberty at all.
Safety for exchange for freedom. That's a straight deal. The
Yes,
Hobbes.
yes.
He did in fact read the Leviathan. He got a copy from a smuggler, the dimensional smuggler.
But Zakuul is definitely, if you don't care about these things, a very nice place to live.
All right.
As not sure what Tula was saying. That whole thing.
You were good. I think we were talking about. He was talking about how that, in comparison to everything else, Zakuul's better is what Texan
Yeah.
was saying as well.
So as far as you're aware, from certain metrics, yes, it's much better.
And for those who don't follow or wish or need his help or don't require his assistance, will you think he'll just leave them alone when he starts to make his whole new reimagined world, galaxy, whatever?
As until now. What do you think suddenly is gonna change? Well, I mean, his 3 children went missing, so I suppose there might have been some changes now. Whose fault is that again?
Well, after me, I would have just left you all back there.
Well, I don't know why I'm still alive. I guess a lot of things about what your friend Luke don't really make sense. Don't have to agree with me, and like I said, I don't blame you for viewing me as you do. You were
Tula
victims,
just
but
nods,
you were
going back to it.
victims. You were victims long before my father got involved.
Tula just goes back to eating her stew.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Nobody knows the bet. Nobody knows the bet.
Father wouldn't do this just for random.
Listen, Mirror thinks he doesn't. She agrees, but she thinks she's just a power maxer. He just realized being a sociopathic backstabber. It's not an ideal way of governance.
Listen, too
Ah,
bad I
no.
didn't idea what he's trying to do, but she's wrong as well.
Texan is very. You know that it's of him. He is very loyal. He does truly believe in Zakuul and the whole vision. Yeah, if there's the conversation sort of dies out there. Um, Eventually, I guess you would all go to sleep. Maybe keep watch in rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The campfire is probably gonna keep away most of the predators. As in the morning, you get up. Who would be like last on watch?
That could be awesome.
As you sort of see the rays of the sun start to light up beyond the horizon. Kind of hear some movement behind as you glance. As you glance back, and you will see Arkan sort of getting up, yawning, but like glances at you and morning to you.
Good morning. Welcome to some fucking shithole in the galaxy. I forgot which.
I heard the discussion last night. I had nothing to add. I thought I would just put it out.
I can't say I blame you. So, gotta be honest, the plan right now seems to be find civilization, and I don't know what we're gonna do after that. Sounds like your brother's just gonna hop on the first ship he can and fly in a straight line to Zakuul.
Ah, he's a dumbass. What can you do?
Not sure. I mean,
You
I mean, I know what I know what I want to do, but I don't think that's actually going to accomplish anything.
I heard the thing last night, and your friend over there, the Twi'lek, thinks he's gonna budge because you tell him father mind controlled you. Wanna know a little secret, Marcy?
What?
Father did way worse to Valen, and Thexan didn't budge. This is nothing.
Oh shit! Guess it makes sense. If he fucking decides now it wasn't worth it, oh fuck, it's kinda. If you invest that much into it, it kind of has to be worth it.
I don't think there's anything Father can do. Make Thexan reconsider his mind. I couldn't. I couldn't stand it. I just tried to ignore it. Never really works out.
Yeah, Mossy will just say, "Oh, listen, I don't really know where we're all gonna go when we no, once you find a spaceport. I don't know what we're all gonna do. I'm I'm not planning to go back to Zakuul.
Yeah, no. I recommend you find a very faraway world. Go there. Heck, if you can take Valen with you. I think best for her.
So I'm gonna try to do. How about you? What are you gonna do?
Kind of glances back at his brother sleeping. Somebody needs to watch out for him. Still my brother. Much as I disagree with him.
Gonna go back to Zakuul then?
That's what he wants. I guess so.
How do you think your father's gonna take being cut off to the force thing?
I'll be honest, Marcy. I don't think he gives a shit. Gives a shit about you, me, Valen. I've never seen that man smile in his life. Always the same disinterested, disappointed look. So I don't know. I think your friend Luke, whatever the fuck his name is, he wants to pick a fight with father. Gonna die in the process, like others who've tried before. He thinks he can, what? Make him angry. See, that's the funny part. That's the joke. May be able to hurt the Empire, cause a bit of mayhem. There's been others. Get a rise out of that? Not in a million years.
Yeah, she'll like poke at the fire a bit with like a stick. She'll say, "Oh, can I really do hope you're right? Make my life a whole lot. It's gonna make my life a whole lot easier if you are."
Um, kind of like nods and says, "Oh, I think if Valen goes with you, she'll be happier. At the same time, now me and you'll forever be chased. Even if he doesn't give a shit. I think Thexan will. Don't let his nice guy persona fool you. He's plenty capable of being ruthless.
I'll just have to take the risk then.
You'll kind of nod. Eventually, the rest of you will kind of wake as you'll see Marcy talking to Arkan. As eventually, Thexan would also wake up, and at that point, Arkan is just gonna like take him off to the side for them, the two of them, to talk. As Valen is also
Arkin, please perform a Street Fighter 4 combo on your brother.
That's the real convincing argument.
Valen is also gonna kind of like walk up to see what the fuck they're talking about, leaving you three alone in awkwardness.
Remember, they don't have much to talk with the others.
I know.
We're not really good friendly sparring talk.
That's why it's awkward.
Yeah. Marcy will say, how far do you think it is to those farms over there?
Reckon 100 miles. A day's march, probably. But with our lack of local knowledge, give it at least 2 days. Or even 3 days to orient ourselves and whatnot.
Marcy will nod at that.
You begin to start packing up. Valen is gonna approach. The two brothers are having what looks like an argument, although they're trying to keep it low. She's gonna. Yeah, well, I suppose it was only a matter of time before they started arguing.
Yeah. No, Arkin was awake during that whole argument last night.
Oh, of course he was. Why would he share his opinion with the mass?
Well, sharing it now.
As usual, he is useless.
Yeah, he told me he's planning on going back with Thexan.
He might as well just be his shadow.
Yeah. Marcy will just nod at that as there's a lot she wants to talk about with Valen, but not right now.
Yeah. Eventually, you pack up camp and Thexan and Arkans finish whatever they were arguing about. Excellent. Well, I have a bit of experience navigating the wilderness of Zakuul. This is quite different. Hopefully, we can make good progress until we are clear of the forest.
Well, let's start then.
As you'll pack up and carry what you can and begin to make your way. as it's not like you're gonna walk very closely to one another. So if you want to have a chat alone with Valen, the others would be out of earshot enough that you can probably have it as you're walking.
Yeah, as Marcy will walking next to her will say, hmm. Arkon told me, wasn't surprised. Texan didn't budge. Um, said he did say that your father apparently did worse to you.
She sort of like stops for a moment and just kind of deadpan stares at you. What? He telling you?
Just that your father did worse to you.
Marcy, be more specific.
Going wrong, Grunt. That is all. That is all he said, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
He didn't go into details, and I didn't ask. I'd rather ask you.
You see her fists clench, so saying. At least he had that amount of decency. You shouldn't have told you anything to begin. Well, you must know. There was a few years. Now, it was little. Where I was extremely powerful in the Force. So powerful, in fact, that well, I injured a lot of people. Big incident. Just out of a slight annoyance. So, in order to not be a danger to others, father took me to a place, faraway planet. And, well, memory is a bit fuzzy. But I remember a lot of pain. I remember a lot of sensation, like something is eating at you from the inside out. In certain ways, the planet Luke took us, it also had a bit of that to it, but different, I suppose. Less screaming, but the general vibe was the same, I suppose. And, well, I was kept there for, I believe it was a few years, during which Texan would pay me regular visits, check in on me.
That's it. He just visited you.
Well, he would bring gifts every now and then, I suppose. Check in on my progress.
So he had to go through that.
You listen to Texan. Father had a good reason why he did that. I was a danger to people around me. I needed help.
No, doesn't sound like help.
She like sort of kind of like points to kind of like grabs a lock of her hair and says, "You know, I was blonde as a child. One of the two side effects."
How did it change your hair color?
I don't know. I was clean shaven back then. Once I left and it grew back, it shifted.
Also, she'll just give a nod at that.
Like
She'll actually follow up by.
sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, she'll follow up by just kind of like asking, so I was also wondering where we were going to go after this. I take it you don't want to go back to Zakuul, and I don't think Miru and Tula are going to want to travel with us.
I'll be honest. Right now, I don't want to think about.
Honestly, we'll sort of give a nod and sort of absentmindedly say, "No, no, I was born on an agricultural world. I don't have any memories of it, but it was in files."
Know which one?
Does Mossy remember? Because in my head,
No.
like she knew it. In my head, she knew at the start of the campaign, but a lot's happened since
No,
then.
I don't think the Jedi would have let you like actually know which planet was. I think the idea was for Val to figure it out, but I don't think she ever got to that.
Yes, she'll say, "Not really, no. Jedi never gets told." And well, listen, sometimes I may have looked at things I wasn't supposed to, but it's still a lot of worlds.
Listen, we'll figure it out. We'll take it one step at a time. It's you know, it feels I know I was freaking out a few days ago, but right now I've never felt so calm in my life. All the voices are gone. All the pain, all the anger, it's just all lifted. It's like I've been walking around rocks tied to my feet, and now they're just suddenly not there anymore. Everything is so much easier, so much clearer.
Oh, there's a positive at least. That's good.
Never felt this good, I suppose. It's a bit weird. It'll take a bit of adjusting.
Yeah, well, listen, we'll have to learn to learn to adapt together then, right?
I'm all for it. You know, my father always said that my force powers were a curse. He was right.
Yeah, Mossy will Mossy will say. Not sure I would put too much stock into what he has to say about a situation, but if we come out the other end better, then yeah, I'll I'll take it. Mossy is going to actually take her hand.
Take yours. Not sure if Mir wants to have any conversations. Anyone?
Um, Probably for now talk to actually Arkham, because Luke did tell her that he was really the more rebellious one. She's still thinking of strategy how to maybe talk to. She doesn't know how to talk to Effects and.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As you're like walking, you can catch his ear a bit.
So. Listen. What's the argument between pride? What's if you don't mind me asking, what was maybe that argument about before?
Now, Mac, you either have to speak louder or like make the fucking background buzzing noise die down.
No, it's the microphone dying, probably. No, not again. It's well, let me just let me turn the switch through here. Here we go. Alrighty. I take it from the argument you don't share your brother's. Well, I assume that the plan is to head back as a Zakuul for him.
Yeah.
Think you're gonna follow him back there?
Well, whether I like it or not, he's still my brother.
He always was very stubborn, I suppose.
All of us are. It's just that, well, some people are more open about it.
Nice, yeah. Well, for now, let's focus on the here and now, and then we'll see about later once we get enough, once we find the space for it.
No. Yeah, you'll be able. It will take you about 2 days and a half. You'll eventually exit the large forest and be greeted with farmlands as there is a settlement distance. You can make your way towards. As well, as you approach it, and it becomes a bit more clear. Oh boy, these houses, they look quite primitive.
Listen, surely this is just a shithole. Surely there's a planetary capital here somewhere.
Yeah, they look quite primitive as the farmlands as well. They also look quite primitive. There's no real of advanced technology you can see that's working the fields or anything. You make your way closer. You approach. You can see it's not like a big like a town. It's a village.
How primitive are we talking, Grunt, on the civilization tech scale?
It's an American city, population 500 people.
I would probably say like modern age. Like they do have like there's like mechanical stuff and like
Tractors, whatever.
machines, yeah. But ooh,
It's an actual tractor. They don't even have
if they-
speeders.
I was gonna say they don't even have speeders. The vehicles they seem to have are in fact wheels.
Oh my god, these guys have actual working vehicles, not the dog shit Star Wars pretends is advanced. They live in the Dark Ages.
You see, I don't know. You see, the joke is this is the dark age of humanity world from 40k. These people are more advanced. This is the second most advanced world besides Zakuul. They have sensible technology. Once these guys get into space, oh boy.
When they advance on the tech tree, they're going to place all the tractors with like bipedal walker mechs.
That's true. That's true. It's on the model chain. Let's continue for now.
But yeah, as they all kind of glance, you'll see the people in the distance. They look sort of human-esque in appearance. Doesn't mean you necessarily will speak the language, as you'll.
We have to find out.
Texan will say, "Okay, doesn't look too good, but
Might be just an isolated hamlet.
yeah, the thing that concerns me, so glance in the distance. Maybe there's a road that we don't see from here, but up the hill there was no highway. There was I didn't see any speeders flying by. There's no roads, no speeders. Might mean that this might be an isolated community.
Yeah, it's likely.
Well, I am versed in a couple of approaches on how to deal with first contact civilizations, even though if this is one primitive, I think the general idea still will apply. I'll handle talks and see if I can establish any sort of communication with these people. Try not to alarm them, as he like looks at the Valen and then raises her hands and says, "Fenceless brother, what can I possibly do to them?" He's gonna like take a deep breath, and unless anyone has anything to add, you'll head into town. I mean, he will head into town. Sort of. He'll instruct you to wait on the outskirts as to not potentially alarm the locals. As you will have a bit of time to yourselves.
As Moss is gonna say. So, what are the odds that he dumped us on a planet that is far away from any major hyperspace lane?
Hi.
That doesn't get regular contact with the outside world?
As a way to inconvenience us? Yeah, I can see it. Annoyingly so.
That motherfucker.
Arkan seems very amused at this. Valen is also like starting to lose the cope. But Arkan seems to like is smirking at all of you.
Mirror's not happy at the prophet. This was worse than the Jedi agricultural course.
Mouse is just gonna shrug at the whole thing. Well, listen, no world is totally isolated. Listen, let's think of it as a vacation, I guess. Break.
Arkan will say. You know what? Starting to come around to you, this guy. Does seem to have a bit of a sense of humor if he indeed left you in an isolated part of the galaxy.
You two would have gone along swimmingly. Best friends, even.
Probably not.
Nah, that's Mirror also like.
But I can still find the joke funny.
Well, glad someone is.
Well, unlike some of you, I can also appreciate a vacation. In fact, I would be happy if this is isolated. That means enjoy the peace and quiet for a bit longer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about that.
Valen just kind of shoots you a fucking glare.
It's Mossy is at this point just like sitting on the floor. What?
Hopefully, it won't be a long vacation.
I mean, yeah, I'm not planning to stay like 4 years here or anything. Just like a few weeks, maybe a month. As I look at the camera,
Mirror just fucking looks at fucking Marcy. If the Empire didn't, or the Republic didn't incorporate this shithole.
we're probably in the fucking outer rim. We're probably in the fucking outer rim then. I doubt he left us some in the. I doubt he went all the way back to the unknown regions to drop us off.
No, we traveled too short for that. It's definitely not there.
Yeah, so probably in the outer rim. Take longer for someone to come by, but again, like, no world is like totally isolated.
As about like 30 minutes later, our Thexan comes back with the most
Defeated.
defeated look seen him had in the last 2 days. Say well, there's good news and bad news.
Well, I'll take it. The good news is that we're not dealing with an angry mob. So what's the bad news?
Angry mob?
I'd assume that'd be that. But I assume the good news is that they're like not gonna like tell us to fuck off somewhere, right?
Well, see, that's the good news is that there are some people here who can actually communicate with us. They have well, there's 2 or 3 villagers who can speak common. Is it called common in fucking Star Wars or basic?
Basic.
It's
yeah.
called Galactic
Yeah.
Basic. Galactic Basic.
2 or 3 people that can speak Galactic Basics.
Mossy blinks a few times at that as yeah, no world is totally isolated, but only 3 people in the village speaking Galactic Basic. That's on the more isolated end
That's
of
pretty rough.
And
That's
he
pretty
also
rough.
said
Oh,
they kind of speak, like it's not like a fluent.
Mirror's face darkens more.
we're 0.5 decimal away from totally isolated.
Fortunately, this may be a more realistic take on Star Wars, where each planet is not one city. Not just that the planet is a bit off the ways. What if the region of the planet is also isolated and remote?
Well, civilized places usually have a
If this was
spaceport.
Star Wars, Ron, if this was realistic to George Lucas's vision, the entire planet would be this one village.
Well, a settled civilized world usually has a spaceport and kind of a big city conglomerates around that. Sadly, this one doesn't. So unfortunately, there's no need for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think well, they know what Jedi are, so they have had people coming in and going, but they said the last Jedi passed here around a decade or so.
Oh, well. That's
Apparently there is some city, well, nearby that they do trade with every now and then, but they mostly come by speeders, apparently. They buy their goods and sell their own. Maybe when they come, we'll be able to talk with them, but... Well, harvest was just in, so we have at least 6 months, if not a bit more, to wait around here.
all right.
Well, talked with the village leader and said that if we're willing to work, they're willing to give us food and shelter. I would recommend you keep your force powers to yourselves unless you want people to know about us. And right now, I don't think we need more attention. Talk to these traders.
It's like a fair enough bargaining.
Wherever they're coming from must be pretty far away. Well, I think we need to learn about the details of this planet, wildlife, and the potential dangers. I don't feel very confident in making a maybe week 2 journey on foot.
I don't think there's any kind of convenient skyscraper to guide us here on this world. She looks around the developed infrastructure.
No, not.
Listen, hopefully the people in the bigger city will have a better grasp of basic, but let's maybe, like I said, 6 months, maybe longer. I'm gonna try to pick up the local tongue.
Well, as he looks at Valen, everyone will have to pick up some gardening, some farming tools. Valen kind of rolls her eyes. He's like, so they'll begin having a bit of a back and forth as is gonna try and sort of bribe his sister to cooperate. I'm not sure if any of you have any other remarks about this arrangement.
I assume shelter-wise they mean like what exactly does it mean by shelter? We're talking about like one room and a
Well,
small barn there in the
feel free
back.
to
You
ask.
okay? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. Uh, what did they mean by shelter exactly? Are we talking?
Well, they don't have much, but apparently they have a larger sort of, suppose, barn that they have for animals that they can let us sleep in.
Is this the only closest establishment we have?
Well, unless you see the hotel nearby, I don't.
No other farmlands?
Free to
It's called
wander.
taxi. She takes out her fucking communicator and fucking clicks the button. We're lucky enough that these people are willing to offer assistance. I think the only other shelter besides the barn they have are their own private homes.
Yeah, like this village is to have a population of 100 people.
Yeah, Tula doesn't look too happy about it, but she doesn't say anything else. Her only question.
As well, then yeah, he'll lead you to the barn where yeah, you realize like the only people who can actually speak basic are the village elder, uh, the town's sort of de facto trader, and his son. And they speak very broken basic. And basically, the trader is the guy that handles most of the negotiations that happen like 2 times a year. Other than that, the only reason his son knows is because he picked up from him, and basically the elder is just kind of also part of it. So, but they do seem friendly enough. As yeah, no, listen. Farming is not that bad here. They'll teach you the ways of the land, and sort of as a reward for your work, you'll be given food and basic amenities. They'll kind of let you sort of shower and, well, unless there's any conversations any of you would like to have, some time will pass by.
Listen, I think Marcy's starting to come to Arkin's position. This is a pretty, this, listen, listen, I don't need to like the guy to find the joke funny. dropping the the imperial children and entourage onto the equivalent of isolated like farming community. It's kind of funny.
Well, listen, for you, you'll see that Valen is in fact, while it took Thexan some bribes with like fucking, he promised to like make her a nice bed and build her fucking like kind of customize like the walls, refurbish a bit the barn, certain things. She will start picking up the farm work, and she seems, compared to how rageful and a lot of the things she used to do, there does seem to be a change for the better in her demeanor. She does seem to be a bit more sort of relaxed, upbeat, joyful. Unfortunately for you, these months as they go by, eventually you'll start having nightmares. These nightmares start to intensify as you will quickly realize these are not nightmares, Marcy. These are memories that are slowly worming their way back into your mind. as you are starting to slowly remember, well, your life, more or less, for Zakuul, in the form of dreams, of very, very lucid dreams.
No.
I would say probably over the span of 6 months, you'll have most of your memories back. At least like the broad strokes, definitely. Not sure how everyone else is handling these 6 months of farm life.
She would try to talk to Fexma, but she quickly would have realized that fuck, this is she doesn't know how to break through his thick skull.
Well, I mean, unless you want to make a new argument for Saxon.
From her main argument, like her main belief is that the Emperor is just a power hungry, it's a power max who does not believe in the greater good. But unfortunately, she can't prove that. It's
Yeah.
Source?
that's an opinion position.
Well, you
yeah.
back up that fact with arguments.
And she doesn't. Yeah, she generally cannot come up with anything else. Other than he's lying to you, but they got no evidence. No.
Not sure if Tula has anything she wants to do or say.
I think Tula would try to carve out as much of her alone time as she can. Maybe doing meditations, or I presume there's no place really to go, so she'll just, try to relax, enjoy herself as much as she can out with the work.
Meditations? You mean farm work? There's a lot of work to do around here.
Yeah, if nothing.
Call their agriculture there, Tula. It's a core part of every hero's journey.
Yeah, okay.
And-
I'll do the agriculture, but she'll just try to carve out her. Like, let's get as much space between these guys and her as she can.
Listen, the barn is gonna get eventually refurbished into like a sort of what's the word in English? Common house.
The dormitory.
Listen, it's like being trapped at a family Thanksgiving vacation. You don't want to be here, but you can't leave either. So it's like,
Yeah, I'll say eventually, especially you,
Do you have a
Marcy.
tent?
Hmm?
Do you have a tent?
I don't know. I really
outside?
had...
You do have a tent.
Oh, do I...
outside.
You could
That's a good point.
Sleep outside. The problem is winter will eventually hit. What are you gonna do then, though? So you eventually have
God.
to sleep in the barn.
Listen, she'll be at the end of the corner, and as far away as possible. That's where she got. I don't know what to tell you. That's all she can do.
It's better to carve out a piece early than to come in fucking 4 months in and be like, oh well, actually,
That's what she said. As much space as she can get. Good. I'm not sure what that can mean, but yeah.
A room.
Yeah, I just which
the
much space
walls
she
are
can
very
get.
thin as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for all of you, Marcy, because you are quite sociable and you do pick up the local language, this is a very, very tight-knit community, a very friendly people. Unfortunately for you, Tula, that means everyone will be in your business, and they keep coming by asking if you want to eat, if you want to take. They'll invite you to like village
Let me
events.
re-clarify.
That's wonderful. Listen, I will happily. Listen, I'll translate Tula's response for them. She agrees. She's definitely wants to go.
I want to re-clarify. I mean, as much space for these group of people, these Marcy, Maru, and the Valen, that she doesn't care for them. She cares for the other.
In the sense that you'll not have that much time to meditate alone. You'll probably have some time, but like this is a village that wants to integrate. Vexen has managed to sell your refugee status quite well to these people. And
yeah, like I said, that's fine. Mars, not Mars. So Tula's whole thing is like the group that she's with, the people, the whole Arkan, Thexan, Marcy, Maru thing. She's like, I'm gonna try to give as much space from you guys as I can, but the rest of it, she's fine with it. She can go along with that.
Yeah, no. Those 6 months passing by, you will get quite accustomed, as winter will eventually arrive, and you'll have a bit more free time then at that point to relax and socialize with the villagers. As well, eventually the snow would sort of melt, and well, you will be informed that any day now, those traders should stop by as spring sort of basically hits this area.
Do we know anything about the traders, or are they just people who are also, like I said, a bit far away from the village? Is all?
They're quite far away from them, but they come
Uh,
like once or
mm,
twice a year to just basically buy and trade stuff. They
gotcha.
barter. They don't really like. These people don't need money, but they usually like come and sort of give people tools, repair stuff they have, uh, things that are a bit beyond the technical capabilities of the villagers, and sort of buy food and furs, stuff like that. I'm not sure if you have any particular questions.
No, they're mostly just they're people who aren't our world, just other villagers who are coming by. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Mossy would
they
ask one of them.
they call them city folk. They don't call them other. They're clearly from like a bigger place. They're not just like other random villagers because they do have speeders they travel with.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Mossy is gonna ask, like, what led to this group like settling like so seemingly so far away from anyone else in the world. She would ask them that at some point during the 6 months.
Well, just as far as they know, always been here. Generations upon generations upon generations. They never had any reason not to be here. They're a very self-sufficient community. Like even without this like yearly trading, they would probably do just fine.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure if you ask about the Jedi that passed a while ago through here.
She might ask out of idle curiosity, just to get a sense of like if she can get a sense of like what he was even doing out here.
He definitely came in for a child. He'll say that originals. Yes, I remember the young one. They well, it was, I believe, boy, he leveled an entire shed. Almost killed his mother in the process. Did I just... Well, we mentioned it to the traders, and a few months later, man and robes and, well, it looked strange, but mentioned the Jedi Order, offered to help with the child, talk with the family, that they can teach him how to use his abilities to not harm others. Mentioned the fact that if left unattended, it would only get worse. Said that once the boy was old enough, he decide if he wants to come back.
Mossy doesn't have the heart to tell these people that was a lie. If that boy didn't die in the war, he's still never coming back.
No, that puts it in perspective, Marcy. It's that technically isn't a lie, but definitely misleading. If you just then like raise someone to like not tell them anything about their family, their past, and why would they come back? Would they even know where to come back?
Yeah. Listen, I'm also going to reply with something that's technically true as well as she'll just sort of say, "Oh, Jedi aren't the worst group of people. Something like that can join up with."
Gonna nod as yeah. Well, yeah, it's eventually the you would be informed, and like probably hear that one afternoon as the village sort of starts to um there's a bunch of people shouting. We'll probably go out to investigate. You will see in the distance large sort of planetary ship that is, when I say planetary based, I mean that's not like a spaceship, but basically much larger than average speeder. A transport vehicle as it flies approaching the village, as it will sort of circle it once before landing in a nearby clearing. As Saxon looks at all of you and says, "Well, be careful with these people. We don't know that much about them. Keep your wits about you."
Let's go check it out.
As well, presumably all of you, but some of the villagers as well. The trader and the elder approach as you see a bunch of people get off. That's not just people now. You can definitely see a bunch of like aliens.
Civilization, clearly, diverse people. Surely they must have space for.
Uh, like these guys, like one or two of these.
These weird freaks. Some of these weird guys.
We
Some
see,
of these weird.
we see a Trandoshan there, suspiciously, with a little
No,
blast.
it's no the
There's no
Trandoshan.
Wookiees on this planet, Mac. Why would they be here?
That's true. They only enslave Wookiees.
I mean, just as bad. This is that guy's name might as well. That guy's species name might as well be Mook species.
Species.
Fucking the Gooners.
Literally, that race exists to be mooks for the Hutts. They don't do anything else.
Yeah, you'll also you see the man that walks up to speak to the elder, as there's this sort of lizard that slithers behind him. Quite big, sort of like a hound almost. The guy looks fucking armed to the teeth, wearing a combination of power armor and like sort of clearly cybernetics augmented. Looks quite dangerous. Sort of the distorted robotic voice coming out begins to sort of. Yeah, no, go pet the lizard. Oh. As yeah, you'll speak a bit with Elder before like noticing all of you. Sort of gives a sign for one of his men as they'll approach the elder. He like steps a bit, kind of passes him by. Says, "Ah, what do we have here? You don't look like locals."
I can't say we are. Had the misfortune to end up here, but good fortune to run into good people.
He kind of like glances at Tula. You're definitely not from around here. You lost here stranded.
Both? Both.
It's not a spaceship, Mac.
Kind
I
of.
was very explicit about that.
No, just thinking he has a spaceship somewhere else. Then maybe this guy is fucking in the city. She's coping,
I
Grump.
was
She's
gonna say,
coping.
that's still coping. That's hard coping still.
She is hard coping, desperate. Like these cybernetics are advanced. Surely this guy's a spaceship parked somewhere else. Just didn't want to spook. Just didn't want to spook the locals.
Sorry, were you about to say something?
Yeah, she was basically saying both. I was gonna say it's kind of have a chance to figure everything out. We got a little dumped here.
That's such a shame. Such a shame. Well, for the right price, maybe I can help you out. You look like a bunch of folks in need.
Well, it depends on what price you're asking here, Mister
Ah, you may call me Star.
Thar. Then, what exactly is your price that you're asking for?
Ah, well, depends. If you want to lift off the nearest major population center, I'll probably 5,000 credits per person. I take spices as well. Can negotiate currency.
Well, I'll be sad to say I don't think we have those type of credits to share, my friend. I apologize, but 5,000 credits a bit too steep even for our blood.
Well, then, and unfortunately, I have to make money somehow. Crew depends on it.
Of course. I would labor work for working on your ship until you can sign us a settlement that will allow us to part ways amicably.
I don't know. I don't have any specialized skill I might need.
I'm sure we can find a way to work something out.
Sorry, I don't take prostitutes then. Um,
I don't think you will be able to afford me in that regard. So don't worry about that.
well then, you don't look like a mechanic either.
Sadly, no.
Admittedly, I do have 5 dots with fix and focus.
Hey, listen, you can offer if you want.
Mossy will say. Yeah, Mossy will say. I picked up the. I've never been properly taught by anyone, but I know enough to maintain. I knew enough to maintain the gear we had before we ended up here.
Well, I suppose I'm always in need of a good mechanic. As actually Thexton will say. Unfortunately, I think I'll pass. I'm not that skilled. He'll kind of glance at his brother and sister as well. It's a very worried look he is.
Mossy is just going to say, unfortunately, if they're not coming, I'll have to pass on it too.
Well, it is what it is. You folks take care of yourself out here. Gonna wander back and finish. And as you see them unloading some goods for some medical supply as well. As Texan's gonna whisper a bit. That seems like a very bad idea what you were trying to do.
Mossy's gonna just like whisper to him. So it's either gonna be all of us on there or none of us. Trust me, I wasn't gonna go on there on my own.
I feel like that would have been quite bad for all of us, even if we all went on. I count about a dozen at the very least. Fighting capabilities. Do you want to start swinging immediately?
Oh, we'll have to hope there's other traders then. Come next time.
Kind of like looks at him. I don't think these people are just regular traders.
Mur will nod. They had to look at the cybernetics, and he in fact he asked for credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they'll finish up their business and they buy some. Then they do leave. They do leave.
Yeah. Hey, we should point out he didn't ask for credits from the locals.
Oh yeah, the local's got something else he wants. What he needs. Imagine you could probably take it, but well, I mean, if you work in an isolated place like this, you probably don't want to burn contacts in isolated areas.
Yeah, no. As they leave, I thought you wanted to know more about leave.
Mossy's actually going to say. Yeah, Mossy's just going to say. No, I'll be honest. Friends and I, listen, we didn't get the bad vibes off of them. Not sure, I'm not sure where he's going, and it might not actually be where we want to go.
He's gonna nod and says, I know Mr. Thar for a few years now. He always done well by us, but I can understand your decision. You have earned your keep here. Want you to feel like we're kicking you out or anything. We'll always have a place here. In fact, got some extra tools. We can build 3 new houses for at least some of you. Sleeping in the barn was, I think, enough for now.
Oh, hey, that's good. And I wasn't lying to him when I said I do know a thing or two about fixing things up. So maybe we can take those tools and also take a look at some of the machinery we got around here. See what I can do.
He'll smile and nod. Yeah, no, definitely could probably. It's not that advanced. In fact, it might be a bit more difficult for you to get used to like the older sort of mechanical, old school tech here.
Listen, so I like with farming, she's viewing it as a form of meditation.
Yeah, there's definitely a sort of sense of calmness about this place. Not sure how everyone else is reacting.
She's.
I will say, well, Mossy will repair. Will repair it when if there's none of the locals around. Someone might one of you guys might hear him out of something like, "I could have taken him. I could have taken him."
Mira's thinking of also like fucking doing it. Mira's not looking the happiest that she's not taking this.
For the record, she's not saying it angrily, which may be a surprise to people. She's not saying it angrily.
Mura's looking a bit dismayed at the others. I understand the others' hesitant, but she's also thinking like, I don't want to stick. She's not happy with the potential of her being stuck on this rock for the rest of her life. As she's dooming a bit, as we might say.
Yeah, Texans also kind
You simple folk, you simple folk. Luckily, Marcy's end goal may literally just be to find where her parents are and then retire on their agricultural world. So honestly, this one's not what she's right now isn't too different than what the end goal is.
of react.
I think she's a bit like a little annoyed, but at the end of the day, she's just gonna keep going. 'Cause like she wasn't expecting this to really work out in that regard. Just trying to get some people off planet mainly. She's probably gonna be as fine as she can be in the situation, or try to be.
No, Marcy, Valen will actually approach this. Yeah, I'm actually. I don't think that's that bad if we stay here for, longer.
Yeah, Marcy will nod as she'll just say, "Yeah, it's a good practice. I mean, imagine the farm my parents were on is a little more advanced than this, but the principles are still the same."
I feel like if we're gonna stay here for long, we might as well get along with all our neighbors.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Turns out this isn't going to be a quick 6 month thing. Then we split ways. Yeah,
As well, Tula, as you're kind of walking back, you will see Valen is approaching you specifically.
Oh dear God!
Here it comes.
Wait a minute. We don't have to do this. If you're looking for Marcy, she's in the other direction.
I'm with her.
God damn it! Can I help you?
Valen says, no, but suppose better late than never for me, right?
I'm not too sure what you
I'm
mean.
sorry.
Gesundheit?
No, I'm sorry about everything you had to go through because of me. I wasn't very nice.
Tula kind of raises an eyebrow. She kind of glances at Marcy before looking back, I presume, at Valen.
I'm sorry too.
Uh,
I said a lot of things I shouldn't have said while we were with Luke.
I've...
Listen,
Thank you.
I know much better than maybe you realize how it feels for someone to try to control your life. Although, unlike you, for most of my life, I tried to appease my father, tried to earn his love. Those I well, I almost began believing that I wasn't really worthy of anyone's appreciation. Around for a few people,
Uh,
but I I know how it feels to feel like you're not in control, want to be in control. Well, unlike you, I was angry, lashing out, trying to hurt others so that I would feel like I'm stronger than them, more powerful than them, that all my suffering, pain had any meaning.
I thank you for your apology, Valen, but I will be honest with you, I don't feel like you've done anything that warrants an apology for. I don't know your life, and I don't know what you've been through, but I know enough to know that you're not the one to blame for everything I've been through. And you're,
I still
yes,
helped my
you,
father, and though
mm,
I shouldn't have, I still was
maybe,
responsible for certain things. You know, being without the force, alone in my head for once, that helped me realize a couple of things. It's very freeing, you know. And also it helped me open my eyes to the things around me.
that's good. At the very least, I'd rather you and Marcy get to be happy than go through whatever misery that this life can give you. And maybe you're right. Maybe you could have not helped your father, but I don't think it would have changed if you didn't help him at all. And Marcy, I understand, at least a bit. I don't, I'm not angry with you too. I've, even before the memories were regained, I've lived 5 years with you both. So it's kind of not really anything different before or after. I just hope this new life you decide to go for yourself is a happy one. So it's appreciated, but you don't owe me anything. Neither of you. I would ask what exactly brought this on.
Well,
I
I mean, I don't want to point it out, but everyone is talking to everyone but you.
yeah. Well, that is correct at the very least, but it's not much different what we had before. We weren't really talking to each other back in the tower, and we certainly weren't doing that on the spaceship.
It's a change from Korriban, though.
In Korriban, I would have died for you if you asked me to, which I don't think is a really healthy mindset to have.
I feel like
In Korriban,
you can meet somewhere in the middle.
I'm not too sure what you want from me. We weren't really looking for friendship. We weren't really the friendly types. She's kind of about Valen and her, basically. And your brothers are. I'm going to be honest. I don't really know what to do with your brothers. I'm just going to leave that to Maru and you guys to talk with them about things and whatever emotional thing your brothers are going through.
Texan, I think, is going through a bit of a crisis. Surprisingly, I've never seen Arkan so relaxed.
Well, I don't know Arkin, so I'll take your word for it.
I think he's happy he's away from everything.
That's understandable.
I never got that, I think, until now.
Well, you all three are presumably free from whatever life your father gave for you, so
We're
you get to
here
decide
right
what you want
now.
to do.
I don't think that's gonna stick.
Probably not. You can still enjoy it as much as one can. I think we all learned very easily that it can be taken quickly. I'm not too sure what you want from me.
Well, what do you want?
I don't really know. I spent my life following anyone else who would have me, so I need to figure out what that means when I can just make decisions for myself and only myself.
Well, that's really nice. But you think you're open to negotiation?
Negotiating what?
Well, I did overhear my brother and the elder talking. They're gonna build some new accommodations.
Mm-hmm.
And well, there's only so much space. And I think it will be really helpful for my oldest brother to relax and unwind. And well, there's only so much room, and somebody has to share the space with Arkan, and I want to be alone with Marcy, so that only kind of leaves you.
Ah, I see. I, I don't. This is your brother. Aren't they like two a package deal? Don't they just come with each other, like one with the other? Do they even want to be separated?
Okay, they're not okay. They are a bit too tight knit. I think that's a problem. I feel like I think Thexan will only like start to sort of think inwards if he is like removed from his comfort zone.
So they're asking me to see if he wants to be my roommate until your brother can unwind.
Yes. So kind of like politely smile.
I don't see what I gain out of this.
Well, this is the part of the negotiation where you can demand things, set conditions, ask for things.
I don't really think you have anything I want, unless I can make you do my chores for me so I can have a bit more relaxation time.
I am sure Miru would be very easy. Because if you think about it, she's getting like the most out of this. She gets to spunk with Thexan. But I think
That's
I
a
can
good point.
convince her to.
Okay, convince her to do some of my chores, and I would appreciate that. I'll call it a done deal. At the very least, as long as your brother agrees, I have some doubts about that, and he understands we're not going to be doing anything crazy here, right? Nothing insane.
Kind of raises an eyebrow.
I feel like there's always a possible danger situation going on when it comes to this. Is he not gonna like try to stab me in my sleep? Is he?
Have you not seen him? He literally does not. He's.
I don't engage with your brother at all. I think I've only had 2 words to him, which is "Hello, Commander" and "Have a nice evening, Commander," and that's it. In the last 5 years I've known him.
So that means he's not gonna bother you.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. At the very least, that means less hassle. Okay. He doesn't like. There's no like anything I have to worry about. Like, does he sleepwalk? Does he?
No.
Okay. Fine. If you can convince that, I'm okay with it then.
We'll kind of nod, and unless Marcy wants to say anything else.
Not really, no.
Gonna grab your
So
hand.
it's funny how it was very funny. The last scramble to get out of this deal that nobody is forcing her into was very funny.
So yeah,
She could just say no.
I think she
I
can.
listen. I think Maru and Arthexan do need alone time at the very least.
Yeah, Valen's gonna grab your hand, Marcy, and drag you, talk to. And
Let's go.
you're kind of like spiraling right now, but you do see Marcy and Valen approach you.
She fucking groans. Oh, not this. And it's thinking, oh, what's worse, trying this or like spiraling alone?
Valen says, "So I take it you're taking it about as well as my brother."
Yeah. I always wished to be a part of the Jedi Agricultural Corps. Was one of my greatest desires, actually.
Listen, I may have some good news though. They procured some materials for some extra housing. And, well, that means more room and more privacy. And, I think, well, there won't be too much room. So we were deciding on who gets to be roommates with whom. And I think you should be roommates with Tex.
I still see I'm your, well, no longer onboard entertainment.
Well, you seem to be, you both seem to have the same goal, so maybe you can work on that goal together in the confines of a small house. With a single bedroom.
And she just fucking just kind of chuckles. I don't think now is the right time for.
I mean, the house isn't going to go up immediately. Red, change that back, you fucking coward.
even in the written spelling, even in the written spelling,
It's still not correct. That's fine.
it's the wrong
Listen, it's good enough. There you go.
But
Tarzan.
Moxie's going to follow that up by saying, listen, I'm sorry, Maria. Stuff that happened earlier.
He's a bit surprised, taken aback, but she didn't expect Marcy to speak at her at all, and
Valen will say, I agree with you. I think you were put in a horrible situation. I think, unlike Thexan, I don't think father had any good intentions. I think he can be cruel. I think as someone who has suffered at the hands of his rather, well, messed up fascinations and fears.
As she was about to say something, well, what do you mean suffer? But as she says fascination, like even Maru's, the clocks are connecting. Experiment on his own children.
Let's just say that yes, I do have some holes in my head, my memories. Although whether that's just the same as yours or just plain old trauma, I don't know.
Remember what she say? In that case, I want to extend it. I didn't want to extend a fraudulent apology. Everything I said back on the ship was kind of true. I was not happy with you, but if it's project, I suppose it's still free will. But if it's a project of torture and whatever he did to you,
I think you may have more in common than you may realize, but it's fine. I wasn't nice to you either.
Miro Jackal should have been a fucking grown up, so being a petulant child.
I think everyone here should be afforded more leniency. And I'll be honest, as she looks at you, Marcy, I think you all here have been given an opportunity a lot of people maybe don't usually get, which is time alone with ourselves. She glances back at you, Miru. And I think we should take advantage of that instead of trying to rush into things again. To avoid being alone with our thoughts. I never, till now, until I had to break away from the force, isolate myself, I never realized how useful and how healthy, how freeing the quiet can be. And while it was terrifying at first, I was scared, panicked. Once you learn that, suppose the world doesn't end, close your eyes and take a deep breath. But you won't believe me. I wouldn't have believed anyone. Have to take a chance on yourself. And just like I think Marcy helped me, I genuinely think you can help my brother.
She kind of chucks at that. I can barely help myself, let alone help others.
Barely is more than nothing. He views me as his little sister that's, Well, hurt, rebellious, and thrashing. But he did go out of his way to help you. Zakuul. He doesn't do that for just about anyone. And he has never done that for anyone that's not family. Now, whether you appreciate his almost engineer-like approach. Well, from what I remember in our conversation on the Phantom, you do. So,
And she kind of blushed at that slightly.
I think you should. I think you should take this opportunity. And take a bit of a leap of faith.
It is also important to note Tula is already talking with Arcan, so it will happen.
What will happen?
Jesus Christ.
I was about to bring that up. Listen. Let's not get ahead of. Listen,
Confused.
let's leave that.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. My Discord lagged again.
She'll say.
She'll say, as Mossy will just say, I mean, like the free the room with Thexan being open.
It's nice that you're still.
Which, by the way, Tula does expect you to do her chores for that. So you can either make the most of it and see what you can do, or you can mope about it and still have to do the chores anyways.
Wait, was that towards Maru? Wait,
Yes.
did you negotiate in my absence?
Well, I thought you might prefer having some time alone with Texan.
I don't disagree.
And I think doing a couple of Tula's chores is not that high of a price.
You know, it should actually smile. You know, I didn't expect to say this, but thank you.
Well, I should be thanking you. I think you'll be a positive influence on him. And I will laugh my ass off because Tula will be roommates with Arkan. You know what's gonna be hilarious as she looks back between you and Marcy? Arkan is very direct with things. And I think that's one thing Tula doesn't have any fences against. Last I remember.
No, not really.
She does not like confrontation. She tries. Listen, she's a good runner.
Yes.
But I think Vex luckily still has his athletics.
Texan is subtle, would give her space, not mess with her. And Arkan is not that. In fact, he is quite the opposite. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see the comedy, but I know it will happen, and that is enough for me right now.
I suppose we need something to do around this place, and maybe we might be able to hear it from depending on where the houses are built.
right now, it's still spring. It's too cold to sleep in the tent outside. I think if she starts making campfires, gonna get questioned by the villagers, and I think that's just gonna complicate her life.
There's nothing short of trekking to the city can get her out of it.
Kind of chuckles and nods. So, suppose Miru, we have an agreement then.
Yeah, we do.
Wonderful. I will tell that to them. Pats you on the shoulder.
And Mira kind of frees out. She didn't consider that part of the plan.
I'm sure you got this.
Yeah, Valen and Marcia will take their leave. Miru, gonna go tell Faxon about this?
Oh god, the doom spiraling is back, but this is different doom spiraling.
Now listen, you could always just not tell him.
That's
It'd be
true.
very funny when the buildings get when the house goes up.
We just move in, be like, oh, they tell? Damn.
Listen, I think that's the worst maneuver here. Yeah, Murak, even a botched operation is better than surprise attack.
Now listen.
Would be very funny. Listen, the Bulls never stood a chance.
No, listen, that's the problem. Listen, here is my counter argument to that.
Mm-hmm.
It would elicit the most honest reaction out of him.
That is very true. And Mira's
If from Miro's perspective, if you ever want to see what he's like actually thinking, Texan's a very calculated, diplomatic sort of like.
he has a poker face.
Yes, he's a very controlled individual. He doesn't like to sort of let others know what he really is thinking. And the best way to kind of push past those defenses, to break that mask, that facade, is to surprise him.
You know, you're so goddamn right. You know what? Listen, this might confirm or either of her assumptions.
Exactly.
Save the spotlight for you. Still have a spotlight, Mac. You've saved it for this moment.
I did. That's my eyes in the hole.
You know, I like this will be unironically, this will be the argument she will make to Arkan. And Arkan's gonna be totally fine. In fact, he's not gonna say anything.
This is gonna be the funniest bit, Arkan. This might help. Either this will be the funniest bit, or this might help Fexen. Either way, we will all win.
As Arkan will be a bit surprised that you managed to make Tula agree, but doesn't have any issue. As yeah, it'll take about a month to sort of maybe even a bit less, but yeah, as you will build up the new houses, as well, you start kind of putting your stuff in. You walk into the house as Texan kind of like exits one of the rooms, looks at it and says, "Ah, and thank you for the help." As he'll a bit confused at your bags.
That should be everything. I think. So, and this thing is only one bedroom, tactically speaking.
Well,
this was a joke, but I know, but like, I'm not sure if this thing has 2 or 1 bedrooms, or 2 beds at least.
Well, you're not in the bedroom right now. Well, you looked at like I assume because if you would have went, for example, in it's a good point.
And we built this thing, so I figured we would
Alright,
know.
sure,
Like,
should give me a detect roll. Well, I mean, you kind of built the foundation. You lifted the walls. You
the problem is I have distracted right now. But I kind of want to.
surely no one would have messed with you.
Part of me
Who's more
wants,
friendly with the locals? Me or you?
part of me wants to spend adrenaline to figure this one out. This
That's actually a good question because Mac did mention. Do we solve all our conditions after
Probably
this?
not.
After this,
Probably not. You can remove your conditions.
Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Then let me remove them.
I would have gotten a moment to calm down.
In that case, let me roll detect normally. I'm not spending adrenaline. Even though I might, it's still kind of funny and important. Now let's now.
Ah,
No,
it was
the
meant to
gambler.
be. It was meant to be.
this prank will extend to multiple people.
It will. Listen, do you keep the part set, or are you gonna risk and even?
You know what? Either I'll fail even harder, which will be funny, or I'll succeed. So I don't see any lose
Well, it can get
scenario at all.
worse. It can get worse.
Supposed to be a higher success rate.
I mean, yeah, you did. Well, it was. It is like separate beds, but remember that Valen and Marcy were kind of sneaking around recently.
She put them together. Did they put them together? Did they fucking in her head?
That's a. Yeah, not only did they put them together, 'cause that would be an easy fix to just split them apart. Let's see, Marcy and Valen use a lot of carpeting. Meru, you sure you understand why Thexan is blushing right now? Might have made them into a single double bed. By God, is Thexan blushing.
Oh lordy lord! We're gonna do a brave maneuver here. Mirror will try. Listen, we'll summon all her courage. Oh, as she looks at that. This is how we de-radicalize him. I should just get a bit. Should get a bit closer to him. Well, I mean, listen. Oh, did nobody tell you? She gets very close to him a bit to see how he reacts.
No, they did not, in fact. Why don't you give me a fucking flirt roll, Miru?
This is what we spend adrenaline. This is important.
Spotlight.
Or I might use the spotlight. I'm thinking of the problem with the adrenaline's only 5 dice. What's the difficulty grant on the flirt?
You kind of have him. It's only a critical.
This might be an important spotlight situation.
Unfortunately, he's not a fascist though. It's a bit more complicated.
He's an enlightened technocrat like me. You see, I get him.
So it's gonna take a bit more than that, but that is in fact the first step.
You know what? We're not gambling on this one. I'm using the spotlight.
Holy well, that's very extreme. My God.
Or listen, part of me, honest. I want to see this fail.
Listen, if he spends the adrenaline, it's only 5 dice.
Yeah, I feel like 5 dice is enough. Listen, it's gonna be like it's not like a fucking life or death situation here.
It is. That's not okay. Fine. I will roll the 5. I'll roll flirt. That's not
Spotlight for a kiss? Jesus. The kiss doesn't mean she like can't back out later. You do realize that.
That's true. That's true. I suppose that's true. Let me
Even if you
no more
kissed him
real.
now, he might just be like, okay, I'm still like gonna think about this.
It's a total failure, unfortunately.
Listen, you do go in for the kiss. He's gonna like kind of like put his hands on you as like pulls you back and says, okay, Mirum, I feel like you're rushing this very hard.
Oh, I'm sorry. She will, as all her confidence will die immediately. It's the momentum is gone. I'm sorry.
Feel like we need to take a couple of steps back and think about this really hard.
She'll not.
You just explained. Listen, I know we haven't talked much about it, but I haven't forgotten a lot of our conversations when we arrived here first. I don't think this is gonna work with us. Like, we'll eventually leave this place. I'm not like I don't. Those people were very suspicious, but I do plan. Next time they arrive, I have a plan. I'm not gonna get caught off of, and I don't expect so many armaments. But took a look at their ship. I have some ideas. I know the direction they came from. I have a plan for next time. And I do plan on leaving, and I do plan on going back to my father. I don't think you want to come back with me. So, unless that somehow has changed, sorry, but I don't want to lead you into something that has no future. I'm gonna go see, get some tools to fix the bed so it won't be awkward. He's gonna push past unless you have something to say.
Fuck. She wants to. She doesn't know what to say. God damn it. At the very least, let me. Alright. At least let me help you. So the tit for tat for the help you offered me on Zakuul. I didn't forget.
He'll smile and nod.
Also, you won't get rid of me that easily.
Well, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Fine. If it's getting too awkward for me, I will go now.
Yeah.
As you turn her up again, she isn't that kind of fish things that you.
Meanwhile, well, you kind of like as you like kind of bring in your stuff. You'll see Arkan is already in, kind of glancing at the, sort of looking into the bedroom. Back and says, did you move the beds next to one another?
No, I just got here. Must have been a mistake by the villagers. We can move them out. Or...
He like kind of, yeah, why don't you come here for a moment?
Mhm.
He yanks the covering. You're right, not well. Again, built them as two beds, like two single person beds. As that right there looks like a single double person bed. I think they found this very funny.
Probably did at the very least. There has to be a way to fix it. Maybe we can ask one of the villagers, or I don't know.
Well, I hope you picked up the language because I sure as hell didn't.
I'm sure your brother would be more than willing to help us. Negotiations here.
You realize if they did this to us, they probably did this for him as well.
Ugh. Is there a living room, Greta? Is there like a, or is it just like how it was built up exactly? Is there
The
like a
living
more than
room
one?
is sort of like it's a small house. It's very small. Literally just
Mm.
2 rooms. Well, technically 3 if you count the small bathroom. But the living room and the kitchen are in like a same room, so it's a
Mm.
very small one. I'll say, yeah, don't listen. Don't worry, I'll just sleep on the floor. You can have the bed. I don't care.
Make it fair. We can alternate. I get 1 week, maybe you get next week.
Yeah, that seems fine. However you want.
Fair enough. Fair enough. At the very at that. Hopefully, we'll figure some way to get it fixed.
Again, I'll say, oh, I'll be honest. I feel like this is my sister sort of pranking you. So
Well, as long as she's not maiming me, I think I can live with it.
my experience, the easiest way to survive the pranks is to just not let them know they got underneath your skin. So just ignore them and they'll get bored. So fix the bed, but fix it after some time has passed, unless you want suddenly find yourself with other surprises.
Fine. You're the expert on this one. I've slept in more worse uncomfortable places, so
Yeah,
this is
likewise.
the end of the world. Up. I'm going to unpack as best I can and try to make this deal with this new environment we have until, I don't know, something horrible happens afterwards. She goes to presumably unpack what little
Do you
stuff we
always
have.
just assume
Mhm.
the disaster just right around the corner?
No, it's a bit of a recent development at the very least, but it hasn't steered me wrong so far. I'm going to enjoy this as much as I can before whatever happens next happens.
God, you're so. I thought you were much more relaxed, but I don't realize you're
I am.
such a gloomy person.
Well, this is the first conversation we've actually had, and honestly, you don't really know me well enough to know when
Yeah,
I
no,
wasn't
no.
gloomy.
Oh, so you weren't always gloomy.
No. This is a recent event. It comes with getting your memories back and dealing with the aftermath and never having time to do that. So, sorry I'm not as right as Rain, but
Well, listen, at least that means you had a nicer life before this.
uh, no. I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna
Well,
put this.
then,
This is
why weren't you gloomy back then?
well. You ask a lot of questions for someone who hardly talks.
I talk a lot, just not with you.
True, fair enough. Maybe because I just didn't know how bad it could get. Now I know how one of the ways it can get bad. Growing up, all that stuff. Now I'm gonna put the sheet somewhere around here so we can at least have some pretend privacy.
There's a door. I'll be sleeping in the living room.
Very well.
You
Um,
know, okay, I get it now. I think I'm starting to get it.
That's great.
You're
Wonderful.
just like Miru. It's just that you don't. You're better at hiding it.
I don't. That's the first time. How am I just like Miru?
You have the same awkwardness. It's just that you're better at hiding it. Starting to piece things together. I understand why my sister does the things she does now.
That's wonderful. Hopefully you can tell me a way to make it so she stops doing those things. At the very least, makes it easier for me.
I don't think it will help you much, the advice I'm about to give.
Oh, it's not the what. Lay it on me. Let me decide for myself.
Well, you just have to not let it get underneath your skin, not be bothered by it, but that's kind of like
I think I'll be fine. Don't worry. I think I'll be okay in that regard.
I don't. Well, if you say so.
I know so, at the very least. She hasn't done it so far. And I think I've been surviving a couple
She
years with that,
literally
so.
modified your bed in the night. Probably
Yes.
talked you into bunking with me as well, as far as I remember.
I did, mostly because I was hoping that the whole situation between Thexan and Maru would fix itself through that means.
Okay, yeah. You think how exactly? I'm not gonna make assumptions. How do you think it's gonna fix itself?
At the very least, Mira will finally be able to confront Thexan about her emotional feelings she has for him and finally have an answer instead of living in limbo. Whether that ends in tragedy or not, can't say for sure.
And you think that's like a simple one and done kind of talk, or is it gonna
No,
be a
which is
will they,
why
won't they? That's gonna last, my estimation, forever. Honestly,
not too sure. My hope is that they'll finally have that confrontation. I presume it will take some time, which is why the whole living together instead of me forcing Maru to bunk with me and her making moon eyes at him.
I may suggest you start chopping trees down.
She's gonna be chopping trees down at the very least. I got
No,
her
no,
to
no.
do
You
my
have,
chores.
yeah, and I know you have some more free time. I suggest you use that free time to gather materials so you can build yourself another house, because that's gonna be faster and a more surefire way for you to get what you want than them figuring their stuff out.
Oh, it's either they figure things out or he'll leave eventually, and then I'll have the house for myself. So
Okay, I'll let you believe that.
thank you.
You do know my sister is gonna probably sabotage all attempts he tries to go back to that, right? God, like I said, you're very similar. You're very similar. You just seemingly hide it better. Damn.
If
That's
worse,
the last thing I thought you were. I thought you were. I thought you were someone else. I thought you were more chill. I. Damn.
well, sorry to disappoint you. At the very least,
It's not
if worse gets
disappointing.
worse,
I don't have any expectations. Just funny.
I was just hoping you would be the quiet brother, so we wouldn't have to have a conversation at all. I thought you would be the easiest
No,
one to
I'm the
deal with.
direct brother. See, unlike Texan, I don't feel the need to step on eggshells with people. I can just say what I'm thinking.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So say what you're thinking over there, away from me, 20 feet, preferably.
You realize how thin this wall is. I can just shout and you'll hear me.
So just close that, and you don't have to hear anything. Honestly, we don't have to hear a peep from each other. We could just, you can do what you normally do, which is
Why
stay
do
away
you
from me.
run away from your own problems?
I'm not necessarily running away from my problem. My problem is I assumed that we wouldn't have to engage with conversation. I presume that wasn't something that you enjoyed doing.
Well, I do like talking.
Yes, but to them, not me. To them.
Why do you don't want to do? I mean, if you don't want to talk to me, I guess that's fine. But like, why?
We have nothing in common. There's no reason for us to talk, and quite frankly, I kind of presume the only people you would liked were two of them, which is your sister and your brother. Which is why I thought it'd be wonderful that we would be roommates, because it would make things less awkward all around.
Not an antisocial person.
I could have fooled me. Could have
You
fooled
seem
me.
very hostile to me.
You seem surprised by that.
Did I do something?
You are the son of a man I have very much not wonderful feelings for, and
Yeah, me neither. I also hate him.
great. See, but that's the thing. That's the thing about emotions. Just because you feel that way doesn't mean I can't feel not okay around
So
you.
you hate me because I'm my
don't-
dad's son.
I don't hate you for it. You're definitely not someone I would consider a
don't
one I
like
would have
me.
a. Yes. Yes.
Huh. It's kind of weird.
Sorry to say that. But, like I said, just because dislike is a thing that exists between us doesn't mean it has to make living together awkward. I will
Nah,
respect your
it's
space.
fine. It's me who's the weird one. I suppose there's more people out there who think like you than like me. Fine.
Well, like I said, I will respect your space and your peace of mind as well.
You can do whatever you want. That's fine with me.
Wonderful. I'm going to take this and I'll count the days until you can switch to the room as well. So you have time to sleep here and hopefully not.
I feel like you need the bedroom more than I do. I can just close my eyes and tune everything out. I don't think you can do that.
Maybe not, but it's only fair at the very least. You
Listen,
get the chance to.
how about until you can do that, you can have the room, and when you can also just I I guess you can call it meditation. God, I hate that word. Until you can close your eyes and meditate like I do and not be bothered. I don't think I'll be fine where I am. Fine there. I think you actually need that a bit.
If you're sure, then I won't fight you about it. Just let me know if you change your mind.
Will do.
And Tula's gonna grab her bag and stuff.
Yeah. Gonna find a nice little corner. Gonna put down some covers and yeah, no. We'll all get we'll get adjusted to your new accommodations as Miru. Listen, he's gonna split the beds, but he's still gonna sleep in the same room with you. Gonna try to make things less awkward. Even though some people will see that there will be at least Miru will behave quite awkwardly because I think you're much worse at hiding it than he is.
Yeah, she cannot hide this at all. There's a mix of happiness, despair, and a lot of emotions on her
Listen,
face.
if it helps you, you'll have more chores to do, so you'll have something to keep you occupied. Tula, Arkan, it does in fact is able to just close his eyes and seemingly immediately fall asleep. Although he will making conversations when you're around him. Seemingly doesn't seem to give a shit about what others think. Whether you find that annoying or not.
I think she does, but she's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna like, oh god, okay, this is not what I was expecting at all.
Like until you tell him, like I don't want to talk to you, he will just keep talking to you. Like the only way to like actually make him stop is to like flat out tell him, and that doesn't like stick forever. Like you have to like I don't want to talk right now, and he'll like yeah okay, shut up. But
At the very least,
unless you're like upfront with him, it doesn't seem anything else doesn't seem to work with him. And he seems to
gotcha.
be weirdly inquisitive.
This is not what she was expecting.
Hmm. Yeah, it's almost like you can't judge people by seem to be.
He was judging him by the 5 years that she knew him, which is barely a handful of things.
Interacted that much in those 5 years. Yeah.
We did not.
He is quite different than his brother, that's for sure. As well, maybe Marcy, you will be the happiest out of everyone as. Yeah, Valen will say, no, I think I can get used to this.
Yeah, this is actually pretty nice.
You know, I've been thinking about it. Something my brother said when we first dropped off here. A lot of the things Luke did don't make sense unless. I don't think you'd like to hear this.
I probably won't, but go on.
A lot of the things he did, it. A lot of the things he did wouldn't make sense unless he still cared about you and about Miru. I don't think he cares about sparing human lives. The only reason I'm still alive, my brothers are still alive, is because he cares about what you care and what Miru cares about.
Maybe it does. Maybe he does. He probably does, but unless the man comes back here himself and tells me that, I'm not going to give him the credit for it.
Listen, I've been. It's not just my own thoughts. I was able to get a clearer picture on these in this almost been a year since we've been stranded here. I've been talking a lot more with Arkan. Chat much on Zakuul. You know, when I was being I don't even know what to say, treated by my father's scientists and researchers. I was being kept there, isolated, in between all the experiments. You know, Arkan never came, never visited. Lexon did. Lexon visited, brought me gifts, tried to supposedly make me feel better. Of course, I was horrifying things I saw and the things they made me feel. I talked with Arkan and I asked him not that long ago why he never came. And
Why didn't he?
he said because he hated everything about it. He hated father. He hated Thaxon for being so accepting for it. Hated himself from not being able to do anything about it. He didn't dare seeing it. I was wondering, what? Who should I be more upset at? Brother that came in to check in on me, that sort of acidly went along, or the one that didn't, because he was so against everything.
I'll be honest. I don't think. I don't think being mad at either of them is. I don't think that's a productive decision. I guess.
No,
Not really
but
sure how to phrase it.
still, I thought he didn't care about me. I guess I was wrong. Quite wrong. I think in a way he cared much more than Texan. Maybe my point is that I feel like we shouldn't judge people maybe until we get a chance to talk with them. Even after all this time, I think family is important.
Also, say if I see him again, I'll talk with him. Just see. Not wrong. He did. If he didn't care at all, he wouldn't have left us here. Or, well, he would have just left me, Muriel, and Tula here. He said it himself. He said that my brother was dead. I don't know, maybe he was lying to himself, but
Think don't I don't think he would have helped you out in the first place if he didn't care. It's just me he wanted to use as bait. I think we both know I'm not the most hard to predict and hard to bait person. Or probably many other ways get me to do something stupid.
Mossy just shrugs. Yeah, she'll just say, well, if I see him again, when I see him again, I'll figure it out. I mean, yeah, guess you're right. Shouldn't judge someone without knowing, but
No,
I'm also not gonna assume the best.
not saying this because I want you to not repeat the mistakes I think I've made, because at least I have Texan and Arkan here with me right now, but don't think I ever told you about my mother.
No, the subject never really came up.
She tried to help me when I was imprisoned. She offered me a chance to live with her. I was so mad at her. I didn't leave her. I thought I wanted to make father happy. I thought she didn't care about me. And now I look back and realize I think she cared about me the most. I don't know where she is, even if she's alive. I will never get that chance. I don't want to have to deal with that. That not knowing. So I think if we ever get to leave here, I don't think it's just your parents we should look for. I think we should brother too. Because don't want to know what's going through my head right now, thinking about mom. I don't want you to have to go through this. It's gonna like just kind of squeeze your hand a bit.
Marcy will give her one. Will squeeze her hand back because she'll say, "We'll look for him." And so don't say never about your mother either. I mean, I don't think I've forgotten. I left some people behind on Zakuul. We're gonna have to get them back too, if Luke hasn't already done that.
She'll smile and nod. And on that sentiment, we'll be ending